So let's talk about how to defend specific meta sets, right? My approach to playing tight, like gun tight, anything where it's tight slots or gun dudes close, is really send a lot of pressure because all the routes are so close. It's easier to user, it's easier to user them because they're not spread out. So I really like sending heavy pressure. So let's call gun tight slots. Let's call bench swap, right? Get into our nickel triple. And real quick, let me sub safety in. So one of my favorite calls against like a tight set like that would be either the Hot Blitz 3 or the Nickel Blitz 2. I like to start out in the Hot Blitz 3 because it's less of a chance of you getting beat on a deep corner route. So we'll come out in Hot Blitz 3. You can press or you can show Blitz. I kind of like showing Blitz against this because one, the corners will flare out here a little bit and it'll be harder for them to get beat on corner routes. Two, because I like this guy, the threat of having this guy. Sometimes I'll go insane and just basically engage it, especially on long downs and distances. It's something you just can't block. But I like having this guy here, especially for a quick flat pass. You can shade underneath or do whatever you want to do. But this is how I really would attack compression. Just our typical standard look. Let me get a guy free off the edge. Now, it can get a little dicey. Like I said, sometimes the players will run into each other, which, it's going to happen just because of how close they are to the line of scrimmage. If you're really struggling with, for example, getting beat out in either flat, what you can do is you can blitz the safety coming down, and I like to drop this guy into a hard flat. It's coming almost like a trap coverage because they see the safety coming and they try to maybe hit the halfback table route, and then all of a sudden, there's a flat there. So I like to get really aggressive against tight sets like this. So I'll send more guys more often than not against those type of sets. If I'm really having trouble getting beat to the flat, then you just call the Nickel Blitz 2. It all looks the same, so show blitz our middle linebacker. And then we have to understand that we are responsible for not only the middle, but if we see a corner route coming over here, that's really where we're at. And then post. There's a lot of ground to cover, but the pressure is pretty quick. So you gotta kind of make yourself annoying, right? All kinds of different spots. You gotta run all the way across the field. Be kind of in the throwing lanes at all times. Well, like I said on the onset, it's a lot easier to do that when you're running against gun type. So that's kind of the two zone plays I would run against that. You can run your cover 0. And the cover 0, like I said, it still has that tell. This guy should really be playing in the middle. But as far as alignment goes, it's a little bit more advantageous for him to play where he is. But as far as disguising the coverage, it's not that much of a disguise. You just go ahead and follow that. That's basically 3 guys free. One kind of just shook off the tackle, but look right here. These guys are whiffing hard on these on these blocks on the edge, and then you have the other guy coming free. So that's a nice quick pressure against gun tight. Now you can get kind of crazy, and I'll do this sometimes if I'm having trouble defending the middle of the field and the flats. Like, say my opponent's doing a really good job of making fast reads, right? I'll call Hot Blitz 2 and go crazy with it, and I will put my outside corners on cloud flats. That way this hook curl will kind of drop into this area, and I can go ahead and user this area. But the pressure really has to get home on this in order for it to be pretty effective. Otherwise, you're just going to get smoked. I did a horrible job using the corner route right there, but I hope you guys did a little bit better. What you can also do is, since you're using this side of the field, you may just want to put one cloud flat over here, and then you use this left side and trying to get beat deep on the left, right? So I could just play that. But it's a risky proposition. If your opponent, I mean, if you run that too much, your opponent's going to realize that, and they'll hit this player here, not him. Him, you just lob it over the top. So totally up to you how you want to play this. You can even put this guy. I believe you can put this guy in the outside third. No, you cannot. Apologies. So you can put him in inside quarter, and you could do this. And then you're a little bit safer on that side, right? But still not 100% safe, right? As he hits that corner of the pattern, then that's a pretty easy completion for most people. You don't even have to precision lead that or anything. So that's how really I defend gun tight. For the most part, I get super aggressive. Every now and then, again, if I see the max protecting really well and picking up the pressure, you just go full coverage. And you'll still get the one-on-one blocks on the outside. So it's a pretty versatile defense in that regard. The coverage shells, definitely mix in, right? If you're going to go coverage, mix in the cover 3 cloud and the cover 6. So cover 3 cloud right here. Cover 6, right? So that's pretty much it for facing gun tight. You have to be cognizant of the run, so you can always bring the free safety down a little bit more. That'll also help with dealing with posts if you're in the cover 3. Having him a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage works. But let's go ahead and take a look in this next video at trips tight end and the kind of alignments that you get from trips tight end.